Thomas Shelby carries himself with such stone-cold confidence.
That is God, and that are the Peaky Blinders.
He rarely smiles and never rushes to shake hands. He barely even utters a word.
Oh, and there's a woman.
But within seconds, people gravitate toward him and give him their full attention. He has a quiet confidence that commands a rare kind of authority. And in this video, I'm going to let you in on what we can learn from him. First off, he always stays cold in heated situations. This is the first thing that separates someone like Tommy Shelby from the average man. His ability to stay stone cold calm when things get loud, dangerous or unpredictable is not magic, or because he doesn't feel afraid like a normal person. It's simply because he had trained his mind to stay cold in such heated or chaotic situations. Tommy Shelby has been in a rough war, and this is exactly how soldiers are taught to fight in combat. They have repeated exposure to high-stress environments until their bodies learn not to flinch. When your nervous system is used to heat, you stop getting moved by overwhelming situations, and Tommy knows this. Even when someone's threatening him, pointing a gun right at his face, or cornering him in a deal, he reacts like he's already seen it all, because he has. He has practiced being calm so many times, it's now part of who he is. Unlike soldiers, you don't need to live in a war zone to build that same inner strength. You just need controlled exposure. The trick is to stay calm in stressful situations on purpose. Have those difficult conversations instead of avoiding them. Volunteer to speak when you'd rather stay quiet, and try out a new place that would usually scare you. In each one, fake being calm until it becomes part of you. Number 2. He breaks the state, then takes control. When Thomas Shelby walks into a room, he doesn't just go with the flow or fade into the background while others talk. If a conversation has already started, he breaks whatever state it is in and takes control. While speaking, he might pause when no one expects it and ask a calm, offbeat question that makes everyone stop for a second and think. That's how to immediately command authority. In a deal, a threat, or even an argument, Tommy waits until just the right second, then interrupts to make people pause and look at him. You can do the same thing. When someone's coming in at you too fast, don't just go with it, break it. Ask something they aren't expecting, but still makes sense. You're not being weird, you're taking control of the moment. Once that state resets, people stop reacting or talking and start listening to you. That's the turning point where quiet confidence changes into authority. Tommy even does it without a word sometimes. He could just stare, pause, or tilt his head, and he has taken control of the room. Number 3. He thinks like them before he speaks. Now, here's one thing most men fail to do in trying to be confident. They don't think like who they're talking to. Tommy has a way of always seeing the move before the move, and he does this by reading people. Before he says a word, he's already in their head, figuring out what they want, what they're afraid of, and exactly what they're hiding. That's why he never says the wrong thing at the wrong moment. If he's talking to a businessman, he speaks in a way that aims at profit. If he's talking to a soldier, he uses words that you know will make you survive. He simply thinks like them. That's why even his enemies respect him. He understands them. He knows what makes them tick. And in a world full of people who only love to talk about themselves, that quiet confidence is very rare. You can have that too. Before a meeting, making a tough decision, or even a date, ask yourself what matters most to them right now. If you don't know at all, then observe. Let them talk first and pay very close attention. In just a short conversation, you can know what they're thinking about, and that will direct your response. Simply knowing what they want helps build your confidence that what you're about to say will be spot on and relevant to the conversation. Number 4. he gives them something to gain and something to fear. One thing Thomas Shelby never does is walk into a deal with just one card in mind. He walks in with two. One is opportunity, which is what the other person wants. The other is consequence, which is what they really don't want. He uses both cards so well that his confidence never feels forced because he doesn't reveal his cards right away. He starts by offering something worth chasing. This could be money, power, or protection, but he also makes them aware of what happens if they cross him or walk away. He doesn't even need to raise his voice or threaten them to do this. Just the calm way he says, "That would be a bad idea," is enough to give them the memo. You can use this same method without ever needing to sound aggressive. If you're negotiating a raise, don't just ask for more money. Show how giving you that raise benefits the team and what might be at risk if they don't. If you're setting boundaries with someone, don't only say what you need them to respect, also calmly make it clear what will happen if they don't listen. It's all in your tone. Everyone knows Thomas Shelby never shouts. He uses a calm tone to let people know both cards, and they immediately respect that. Number 5. Use silence as the trick up your sleeve. Tommy knows that the most powerful thing in any conversation is what isn't said in silence. He uses this to make people uncomfortable and fear what he's leaving out. While most people rush to explain, apologize, or speak nervously, Tommy just sits still. He stares, waits, and uses this silence to listen. It makes others speak first to fill the silence, and they end up saying things without thinking. But they don't realize that the more you speak to prove yourself, the less powerful you sound, and the more comfortable you are with silence, the more people assume you already have control. So in any meeting or difficult conversation, don't be the first to start talking and explaining everything. Don't rush to respond either. If someone asks a serious question, stay silent for a very short while. Let the silence last until it feels a bit awkward. It shows that you're not panicking or scrambling to answer. You're thinking carefully and sorting through the right words to use, so you don't end up oversharing, saying the wrong things, or diverting from the main question. When you finally do speak, everyone's attention is drawn to you, and you're the only focus. Number 6. When insulted or threatened, he doesn't react. There are scenes in Peaky Blinders where someone tries to upset Tommy. He calls Tommy names, questions his power, and even threatens his life, but Tommy never flinches. All he does is a slow, almost calculated blink and a drag from his cigarette. That's because Tommy knows what they're doing. They're trying to get him riled up, but his quiet confidence disappoints them as he chooses to stay calm. You need to learn from this. When someone insults or threatens you, you don't react the way they expect. It terrifies them even if they try not to show it. In their mind, they're not sure what you're capable of, and this scares them. People don't respect irrational outbursts or overreaction. They respect control, and when you finally speak or act, it hits harder because they didn't see it coming. You don't have to be in the criminal underworld to use this. The next time someone tries to get under your skin, whether it's a rude co-worker, a passive-aggressive family member, or someone that's been testing you recently, don't take the bait. Pause and give them nothing. They expect you to flinch or fight back. Instead, don't respond quickly, and when you do, be strategic. If you have to respond at the time, say a very short thing like, "Noted," and walk away. That kind of discipline protects your peace and commands respect. Number 7. Turn setbacks into strategy. Because he knows when things get hard, it's only a challenge. Thomas Shelby doesn't cry over setbacks. Even grief motivates him to become stronger and more confident in himself. He turns every setback into leverage, and how this builds his confidence even more is that he is very quiet about it. You'll think he's broken and feeling lost, Then he shows up and does something that proves he's only got stronger, colder, and 10 steps ahead. They have no idea that while he experienced that setback, he spent his time studying it. He finds the crack or whatever he did that let that setback happen, and he fixes it. You can do this too. If you got rejected from a job, learn what didn't go well during your application or interview and fix it. Was it your pitch, your appearance, or proposal? Make it better. If you got betrayed by someone really close to you, take a moment to observe your circle and set better boundaries. If you lost something important, let that loss inspire a new level of focus. Most people try to hide their failures or pretend they don't matter. But Tommy shows us that failure is power if you use it wisely. Number 8. Train for pressure before the pressure hits. When it comes to training for his cold confidence, Tommy has his ways. Most people think bravery just kicks in under pressure, but that's not how it works. Tommy wasn't born fearless. He trained for pressure before the pressure ever hit. He did it by putting himself in small, uncomfortable situations that toughened him. Over time, those situations built his confidence, so when the real pressure like high-stake kings and confrontations finally hit, he wasn't fazed. His brain had seen this kind of stress before, just in smaller doses. Your brain hates surprises, especially when the stakes are high. When something feels completely new and stressful, your nervous system freaks out. You freeze, your voice cracks, and you end up saying things you don't mean or forget everything you practiced. But if your brain has already faced similar tension in safe, low-stakes situations, it won't panic. It recognizes the feeling and knows what to do. Trying these steps out will build the same quiet confidence Tommy Shelby is so respected and adored for, and soon enough, you'll be commanding authority from the same people that once rejected you. And by the way, which actor or person do you think has quiet confidence that commands authority? Please let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed watching this video, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more like this. I hope to see you in the next one.